All right, we are on page 16 again, finishing up the bottom part here. So in method 1, we talked about how to convert from standard to slope-intercept form. And now we're going to do our method 2, which is finding your x and y intercepts. And then I will show you how to then graph using both methods. So in order to find the x-intercept, you're going to let the y equal 0. So in your equation, you're going to let y be 0. And then you're going to solve for x. And your coordinate point is going to be x, comma, 0. Now you're going to have to solve for x. We don't know what x is yet. You're going to find your y-intercept, this time by letting x equal 0. And solving for y. And then your coordinate point is going to be 0, comma, y. Once again, we need to solve for y. Because when you look at a graph, y-intercepts are somewhere like here. And this coordinate point is 0 for your x value. Or here's another y-intercept. This also has 0 for x. And this one has 0 for x. Whereas for your x-intercepts along the x-axis, that point has y being 0. And this point has y being 0. And this point has y being 0. So to find our x and y intercepts, let's start with the x-intercept. You find the x-intercept by letting y equal 0. So where I have y, I'm going to plug in 0. So I'm going to do 2x plus 6 times 0 equals 12. Now, 6 times 0 is just 0. So really, I just have 2x equals 12. Because you don't need to write plus 0. It's not needed. Then you just need to solve for x. Well, in this case, you would divide by 2 on both sides to get x equals 6. Which means your x-intercept is the x value, comma, 0. Now let's find our y-intercept. We're going to do the same thing, except this time we're going to let x equal 0. So we're going to do 2 times 0 plus 6y equals 12. 2 times 0 is 0. So once again, we don't need to write that. We just have 6y equals 12. So we need to solve for y. In this case, we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. So y equals 2, which means our coordinate point would be 0, comma, our y value, which is 0, comma, 2. So there's our x-intercept and our y-intercept. All right, let's look at the next one. So we're going to plug 0 in for y. You can show that step, or you know if you plug 0 in, that term right here is going to go away. Leaves you with negative 9x equals 3. You would divide both sides by negative 9. Now in this case, when I go to Desmos and I do 3 divided by negative 9, I get this fraction, which in this problem, all it's asking you to do is find the x and y intercepts. So that's fine. Your x-intercept is negative 1 over 3, comma, 0. Now, if I wanted you to graph this equation, this would not be good, because you aren't going to be able to go exactly to negative 1/3. Okay, so if you have to graph it, you actually are going to have to go back and convert this into slope-intercept form. All right, but this is your x-intercept. Your y-intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for x, which lets us know that this whole term is going to go away, leaves you with 3y equals 3. going to divide by 3 on both sides. Gives me y equals 1. So my y-intercept would be 0, 1. And the reason that I know that this is 0 is because I plugged 0 in for x. So my x value was 0, and I got a y value of 1. Same thing here. I got an x value of negative 1/3, and I plugged 0 in for y. That's how I know that this is 0. Now, you should try the last one on your own, except, pause for a second, I need you to change this number right here where it says 12x minus 2y equals 10. I need you to change this 12 to be a 10. So this should say 10x minus 2y equals 10. Now find your x and y intercepts on your own. Pause the video, try it, and then watch to make sure you did it correctly. Okay. Our x-intercept, plug 0 in here, makes this whole term go away. So it leaves me with 10x equals 10. You are going to then divide both by 10. Gives you x equals 1. So 1, 0. Y-intercept. You're going to plug 0 in for x. So 0 for this term. That leaves you with negative 2y equals 10. Okay, you need to make sure that right here you have this negative sign. This term is 0, but there's still a negative 2y. And then divide by negative 2 gives you y equals 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So your y-intercept was 0, negative 5. Now, after this part, you need to go and complete all of the circled problems on page 18. Circled problems on page 18.